The transfer portal is open, and the Auburn Tigers are looking to improve their roster. Let's talk about it on this live edition of the Up Tempo podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Auburn family. Good evening, Up Tempo gang. Good evening, Blake. Here to talk some Auburn football, my guy. I'm happy to be with you, brother. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Start a new job Monday. Here to talk some Auburn football. It's an exciting night. Jonah Broom announced that he was coming back yesterday. I feel like that got the Auburn family all back together, and so it feels good, Dustin. It feels good, and we start a little baseball series tomorrow against Mississippi State, trying to get back on track. Had a big win in the midweek against Georgia Tech, so things were looking pretty good there. So all around doing really well with Auburn athletics right now, and excited to talk some college football.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And we thought, Blake, that nobody else better to bring in than the king of book himself. Our guy Charlie5 is in the building. Let's bring him in. My guy Charlie, how you doing tonight, brother?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Yeah, we're excited to have you back.
Going good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't quite button the top one on this one, but we're still good to go. We're still booging.
That's good stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, I know Blake's got some questions for you, so you can go ahead and fire away, Blake.
Yeah, let's
all right, Charlie. Yeah, man. I wanted to start it off with the first thing everybody wants to talk about, right? We want to talk about the quarterback position for the Auburn Tigers. Sure. And one big thing for me, Charlie5, is I was always very outspoken about I wanted Peyton to get a little bit more involved on the media side of things this year. I wanted Peyton to be outspoken, and I wanted him to open up and get on podcast and talk to the local media and just get his voice out there and let people know that he truly cares about Auburn and he wants to be here. And I know you got to sit down and talk with him, and others have as well. And how do you feel about his progression and his jump from last year to this year, and just how comfortable is he? And how did you think about his? What did you think about his 8A performance?
So starting back with just what you're hitting on first, just getting into the community, I agree. He seems a lot more comfortable as he doesn't.
I think we lost Charlie. Yeah, Charlie froze up on us. Get back with us, Charlie. Get that internet right and get back with us. That's
there he is.
Brett's in the building, and everybody popping up. Yeah, let's give him a second and holler at the people real quick. Brett's in here. Our guy Chris is in here. Tyler's in here. Connie's in here. The usual crowd. Tim, what's up, baby? What's up? Charlie, we good to go? All right, let's give it another round. Let's give it another shot.
It's got brand.
Yeah, we'll see if Charlie can get his issues worked out there. But Blake, let's start here, man. Just kind of looking at the transfer portal. What are some things that we know defensive line, right? But what are some other areas that you would kind of like to see Auburn patch some holes in?
Well, we talked about it the other night on the Tuesday night show. I really, with all the smoke going around the wide receiver position, I would really want to lock down the kid from Penn State, especially looking at what his production has been at Penn State. He's a sure-handed pass catcher, and he's going to put up some yards, and he's going to score some touchdowns. So I would really like to see Auburn lock him in. And then looking on the defensive side, I want to see, you got the edge guy coming in from Miami. You got the other one from, was it Arkansas State, I believe?
Yeah, you got Kerryon Crawford coming in from Arkansas State.
Yeah, there you go. So a couple of guys on that line of scrimmage over there on that side of the ball, I want to see that. I really, I wouldn't mind beefing up. I I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of thinking running back just because I think Battie enters, and I could be way off there. I could be wrong on that, but I'm kind of thinking running back. Just get one, because that room is deep, man. And he's on his last year of eligibility, and I'm just kind of looking what kind of carries is he gonna get? What's gonna be his use in the offense? He could go somewhere and put up better numbers. I don't know. I'm just kind of iffy on that one, but that's where my head's at right now, Dustin.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm looking at the receiver coming in from Penn State. Obviously, I know he's visiting this weekend, Keandre Lambert-Smith, and I kind of feel like that's one of them things where I think someone's leaving that room, right? Like we're hearing these names, and me and you are both hopeful that it's not Caleb Burton, but that name's being thrown around. We're hearing Jay Fair's name being thrown around, and that one kind of I'm weary of that one because you kind of heard that last portal cycle. Maybe he was flirting with it, so I feel like something's going to happen there in that wide receiver room, and you're going to have to add somebody else. And getting a guy in Keandre Lambert-Smith who had over 600 yards last year, he had 4 touchdowns. He's he's had a couple of solid years there at Penn State in the Big Ten, right? Like, if you hope that can translate pretty well to the SEC. So that would be a big get, because then if you pair that with Robert Lewis, you're saying, okay, Cam Coleman, it's like, all right, man, I got a couple of guys here where all of a sudden I can make something happen. I can throw the ball around a little bit. And I'm with you on running back. And I hope we can get Charlie5 back in here, because I really want to ask him some questions about this recruiting situation with the running backs, because now that Alvin Henderson's off the board, and we've all heard this whole year that we're looking to add 2 guys in this 2025 class. So I'm really hoping that we can kind of start getting some guys locked in that recruiting board and the class. And then, but as far as the portal goes for recruiting for running back, let's say if Battie goes, I don't know if we have to go get one. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you say, okay, that makes Cobb your 3, DeMar your 2, Quez your 1. I'm cool with Jackson being my 4. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable rolling with that room right there. Definitely some edge. I know somebody had made the comment the other night that, we lose 1 or 2 edge, and then all of a sudden we're really looking thin in that room. And I'm here to tell you, you're going to lose an edge or 2 during the season, because it's SEC football. That's a physical position. Somebody's going to get hurt, right? So we definitely need to add some depth to that room for sure. And then interior D-line. And I mean, we're all eyes are on I think it's Blitty. The D lineman, I think that's how you say it, the D lineman out of Indiana. That's kind of where everyone's looking at and saying, man, if we can pull that one off, that would be a big time get, again, a kid from the Big Ten. So it's just kind of some of the positions that I'm looking at, Blake.
Did he cancel a visit today? Maybe?
Yeah, to Oklahoma.
Okay. There we go.
I think it's going to Oklahoma this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that on social media. So that's a positive sign.
Right.
I think that's trending in towards Auburn, and he seems to talk very highly of Auburn, so I think that's a positive. Look, the portal, crazy. We're going to get guys. It's going to give it. It's going to take it. It's just really and truly the portal right now is just sit back, let it all play out. We're going to get our fair share of cats. We just got to find those cats like Jalen McLeod. Those guys that can come in and they're going to give us that motor. They're going to play for the love of Auburn. And look, the kid from Penn State, like you were talking about, can it translate from Big Ten to SEC? I think it can. This isn't where we're going down to HBCU level and coming to the SEC, right, and it's a struggle. So I would really like that pick from Penn State to Auburn.
All right, well, he's back, folks. We're going round 2. We're going to try again. See if we got that buttoned up top now, Charlie.
No, it's still not.
You were talking quarterback. Quarterback.
Yeah. So I got to a good location now. I think I'm gonna be all right. So
background, you look good.
Yeah. As far as Peyton goes, look, you're right. Him being more involved in the community is big. He's comfortable at Auburn. I thought he's opening up a lot more, not necessarily being talking such coach speak, blah blah blah, vanilla type stuff. Like he told me. The offense is completely different. There's new terminology, new things like that. That's something that I don't think we really expected. I kind of thought, there'd be a little bit of crossover, but no, it's a brand new offense. Talking about how there's no attention to detail last year, kind of throwing Philip Montgomery completely under the bus. You don't say that unless you're feeling comfortable with where you are. So, and then if you talk about progression from one year to the next, the offense was broken last year. I think everybody deserves a lot of blame from Peyton's side. I think he would even tell you that from the wide receiver side. And then obviously, clearly from the offensive coordinator side. But when it seems like if you can fix, if you could maybe fix one or two of those things, if you could fix all three, obviously that's even better. But you don't really know which one of those was the biggest factor of why the offense was broken. But it was broken in all places. So if you got the offensive coordinator side on the same page, you add a little bit of more talent in the receiver room, and hopefully I just listen to you. If you pick up this kid from Penn State that's going to be visiting this weekend, coupled in with a lot of the young talent that you already have, that could fix two legs of it, and those two things may make Peyton better. So he looked fairly decent in the spring game, 9 of 13. Not bad, getting the ball out where it has to be, and made some pretty throws, good reads. I think a lot of the RPO stuff he read really well. And overall, I mean, again, I'm going to be an optimist. I'm going to be a little bit more on the optimistic side, but I just think the continuity and everybody on the same page on the offense is going to I think we're going to, reap massive rewards from just that aspect of it.
Where does Derek Nix play in this? I know I loved his interview during A-Day, that first hour. I really liked it. I thought Hugh did a great job with the interviews and bringing back former players and getting them on the mic and just trying to sell Auburn. I thought it was really nice if you were sitting at home watching on the TV. But I've been really impressed with Derek Nix and just his ability to be able to coach wide receivers, running backs, and the cohesiveness with Hugh Freeze. Could you talk a little bit about him?
Well, I think contractually you have to say he's calling plays for him to get out of his contract with Ole Miss. But no, I think just having him, he knows Hugh. He knows the offense, so he's able to teach what they talked about, details. He's able to not just teach, hey, we're going to run this route, or hey, we're going to run off this gap. The why of it, the explanation of why we're doing this against this defense. And it's not so much of him game planning and calling the plays, but him being able to understand and have the background in the offense to be able to not just say, hey, you're going to go run a post route. Let me tell you why you're going to be doing this and what this play does to this defense. Like he understands that portion of it because he's worked with Hugh before. And then you got the wealth of knowledge of just being able to coach multiple positions and again, being on the same page. You don't necessarily – the learning curve is a lot shorter from him learning Hugh's offense. I just think I love Carnell. I love him like with all my heart, okay? But the Carnell and the Philip Montgomery and it wasn't a very good marriage there. And like this is like the perfect relationship between Hugh and Nix. I'm very excited. I love the way he represents Auburn. He's just an incredibly sharp dude. He already, I feel like he's been here for 10 years. Do y'all feel that way? You feel like he's been here for 5 years. It doesn't seem like he's a brand new coach. He's like he just automatically moved in and fit. Such a good hire.
Well, Charlie5, I'll move over to the defensive side of the football, man. How do you feel about Josh Aldridge moving to the edge position and DJ Durkin taking over the linebackers? I'll be honest, I thought DJ Durkin absolutely brought the juice for A-Day. I thought he was pumped up, fired up.
He's trying to win.
Yes, it was electric. Could you talk about both of those guys?
So, first of all, with Josh Aldridge, I like the move to defense. I like the move to edge, and the reason is because I think he was probably going to be your future defensive coordinator, maybe after this Durkin run. Who knows? But him being able to coach multiple positions, I just think that's huge. I think that's huge. Well, last year we didn't even really have a true edge coach because Ron Roberts was listed as the linebackers coach, but I don't think he really coached linebackers. I think Aldridge had the linebackers, and then him and I forget the Jeremy Garrett, they kind of split the edge, the pass rushing group. And now Josh Aldridge, that's all he focuses on. You saw the tweet go out today. I think they're doing that with a lot of the different coaches, pumping up the different position coaches. He's with his edge guys, and we're bringing in a big edge guy for the portal this weekend. I think they're really trying to build that room. It seems like any position he goes to, too, it recruits incredible. They recruited absolutely incredibly. So I'm pumped about that. DJ Durkin, I was saying, like, he was trying to win the game. Like, he was calling blitzes. He was mixing up cover. I mean, he was doing everything he could. I'm obsessed with that guy. I love that addition. I think it's going to be an offense that's it'll feel a lot maybe like a Kevin Steele or even like a Will Muschamp, like get in your face and get after you type defense. And that's kind of what I felt like we saw on at A-Day. I think that's just a perfect marriage there with Durkin at linebackers, Aldridge at the edges, and the recruiting is going to, pick up as well.
Well, could you talk a little bit about Von King Williams and the job that he has done right out the gate, first year, getting in there on that D-line? I know a lot of the fans are really excited. How are the kids reacting to him and kind of sticking to him?
So I mentioned this on my show, but last year when he was brought in, there was going to be a rule that passed where assistants, off the field assistants, would be able to directly coach one-on-one with the players. So he was brought in with the idea that rule was going to pass and he was going to be able to coach these guys one-on-one, and then it didn't pass. So he was now he's just helping out Jeremy Garrett. So we actually brought this guy in because he's got skills, because he has the ability to develop defensive linemen. And then you saw as soon as the switch flip, you essentially already had a defensive line coach, a guy you brought in to be a defensive line coach, and you just is kind of a natural position. I think he's going to be a phenomenal recruiter. I think he's going to be a player favorite. They seem to really love him. And how great did the defensive line play at A-Day? I mean, you saw the third teamers shut down a 4th and goal situation. I just think if you add a couple more pieces and he continues to recruit like he is, you got a star in the making who you feel like you could probably keep for, the next 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dustin, kick it over to you, brother.
Yeah, man. Charlie, let's take a look at this 2025 recruiting class. I know you love to talk some recruiting, brother. And Blake just asked you about the D-line there. Well, I want to start off on the O-line, because when we look at this class, we've already got 4 guys up front. And I think that it's been a long time since Auburn fans this early in the cycle can say, hey, man, we've almost got a full offensive line already committed. Just kind of talk about the job that Jake Thornton's doing so far in this class and getting those dogs up front, man.
How much fun is it to just recruit the way you're supposed to recruit? Isn't that fun? Like you get, nice. This is kind of the way you're supposed to do it. Bring in 5-6 guys a year, and here we are at the beginning of April, and you got almost a full offensive line. You got 2 tackles and 2 interior guys. You're getting crystal balls for the number 19 player in the country, Broderick Scholl from On3's rankings. High 4-star offensive tackle. And then you got a couple other guys out there waiting in the wings that you can go try to pick off to throw inside as well. So, again, the speed in which we've revamped the offensive line is pretty remarkable. And I think this year we're going to have a pretty salty offensive line once they all gel. Hats off to Thornton. I think people were nervous last year because you only signed 2 high school guys, and you bring in, I think, a JUCO All-American. But just to see him be able to flip this thing so fast, you got to be excited. He's young too, so he could still be here a while. I love some Jake Thornton.
Yeah, for sure. I know last year everyone was trying to warn us, hey, this is a thin class. It's very rare that the O-line class is this thin as it was at 24, and he's kind of bouncing in here at 25 and going and getting his guys. When we look at these guys that are currently committed, Charlie, I'm a big Malik Autry guy. But give me a guy that you look at and you say, this guy's got the biggest upside. This is the guy that I'm really excited to see in the orange and blue.
Well, this is sort of the easy pick. But, when you watch Jordan Crawford throw up 600 pounds 5 times, squatting, throwing up 6 plates on each side 5 times, he's here every time the doors are open, it seems. That kid's going to be an absolute monster. Jordan Crawford is a stud. He's one that's going to be, I think, probably one of your better players out of this whole class. I love that kid. And I love several of the other, it's hard to find one that you don't really like in this class. So another one, Ty Buster, he is one in North Carolina, the rival series goes there like last, the camp series, they kind of get there later than everywhere else. So I think when when he finally gets to camp in front of some analysts, he's going to shine as well. That North Carolina, that area doesn't get a lot of attention, but once those camps get there, they picked him over, Dontrell Glover. They picked him over several guys that are rated way higher than him right now. That's somebody that Jake picked out to be his center early, and they went and got him. And I think that's somebody that you can watch. I think his ranking will really, really rise.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you on that. When he committed, we did a member pod where we looked at his highlights, and I mean, he's literally 50 yards down the field, motor, making blocks, man. That is a physical, athletic kid. And we watched that film and we said, oh, yeah, as soon as he gets in camps and gets in the circuit, it's going to pop. That's a good pick. I definitely agree on that one.
Exactly.
When we look at like last year, we kind of talked about the job that Josh Aldridge did at linebackers. We knew that was a good class, but obviously wide receiver kind of took the cake, right? We said, okay, that's the crown jewel right there. Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, and Bryce Kane. We really brought in some dogs right there. Maybe the best wide receiver class that anybody brought in. And we needed it, right? We needed that juice. We needed that infusion in that room. What position group are you looking at this year and you're saying, hey, I want this one to be the one, man. I want this one we got to inject some life into this room.
Well, it's going to be hard to ever top that wide receiver class from any position. But my God, man, this offensive line class may top it. I mean, this offensive line class may end up being the one that you're looking at and you're like, man, that rival, that gets very close there to that wide receiver class. I mean, you got 2 4-star guys already. You got Broderick Scholl that's getting crystal balls and Fong bombs and all that stuff to Auburn, who's extremely high rated. And then you got a guy out there like, what if you go pick off a Micah DeBose or one of these other big 5-star tackles that your name is sort of in the mix for? If you reel off a couple more of those, I mean, how fun would that be? We get to say that the best position group is an offensive line class. Like I can't even remember. I think you got to go all the way back to like 2014 or 2015 before you could say that. I mean, it's I really like the potential of this offensive line class and where it could go.
Yeah, that should excite every Auburn fan out there. It's been a while since we've been able to say that. I got one more for Charlie, and then I got one from the chat that I want to get to you because it's kind of one that's been bothering me as well. But the Juju, man, we're hearing Juju. We see Ryan Montgomery, who was a guy that we kind of identified early in the process. He commits to Georgia. We're hearing that it's Auburn and Georgia are kind of the schools for Juju. So all that, obviously we all go, oh boy, what's happening here? It seems like, Charlie, the hype is real. Is Auburn really in the running to land the number 1 quarterback in the nation, man?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if I had to make a prediction, I'd say right now it's really between Alabama and Auburn. I don't think he ends up at USC. I think Georgia's done with him. I think Kirby wanted him to go ahead and pull the trigger and end the game and all this kind of stuff, like go no more visits. And that's just not where he's at right now. I think he's enjoying the process, understandably so. He has 4 or 5 visits lined up. He's going to Colorado. He's going to go back to USC. He's not going to Colorado. Colorado's a train wreck. He's not going to go to USC. I think he will reschedule a visit with I think he will reschedule his visit with Alabama. And it's going to be, I think it's going to come down to Auburn, Alabama. And I really like where we stand right now.
I hear you. I
think it's legit. I know at Auburn, it's like we don't land that type of kid. We don't get that type of quarterback. But I really think it's legit. I think that they have worked really hard, and Hugh wants this kid really bad. And if typically when Hugh wants a quarterback, he kind of goes and gets them. So Alabama's not the same Alabama they were. Okay. It's not the same thing anymore. Now, granted, they may have a better quarterback coach over there, but again, it's not the machine that it was under Saban. I really, really like where we stand with Juju. And I think the hype is real. I think it's real. I can't wait for his official visit. Because I think they're going to put the full court press on him. And I'm not going to say he's going to commit then, but maybe you could get him to go ahead and jump in the class before his season starts in September. So I do think it's real, and I don't think it's a pipe dream. And if you do miss out on him, I think you still could go get KJ Lacey if as a consolation prize. How terrible would that be? A top 250 quarterback to add to the room. So I do. I think the Juju hype is 100% real.
Yeah. Blake's been saying for a minute that Alabama's going to get in this thing, and it's going to be an Auburn-Alabama battle.
For
Blake's
sure.
been calling that for months.
He's all over it. It's going to be.
And can I just say this, Charlie5? I know you brought up Colorado. That place ain't real. All right. What's going on out there? I mean, their head coach is sitting in front of a mic talking about they're losing top players left and right, and he's like, "Who are we losing again?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a big deal. I'm like, brother, he was a 5-star recruit that come to you as one of the best DBs in the country, and you're just acting like you didn't lose anybody. Yeah.
This is not even transfers. This is a true freshman. So it was. I don't even know what to say. I mean, there was a lot of people, including me, at times that would be interested in Dion being, the coach at Auburn. But you just see, like, it seems like step after step is like the wrong step, completely the wrong step. Like, I just want to see him do something like just make a right move, make a right decision when you're just constantly churning players. You're not going on you're not going on in-home visits and things like that. It's just, it makes no sense whatsoever.
That's why I don't think they're a real player in the running.
You said you put Colorado on there for hype, and you put Colorado on your list to kind of sound good, and you may go visit just to go see Dion, but like, you're not going to go there. You're not going. There's no way Juju goes to Colorado. Absolutely zero threat. Go enjoy your trip. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's a long way for family to travel to watch you play football, man.
Yeah, there ain't no kid from Carrollton going playing in Boulder, Colorado. Give me a break.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna be on the plains.
Oh, I like that.
Love that.
All right, so I got this last one for you, man, and we'll let you get out of here. Appreciate your time tonight, brother. Our guy Brett has been asking about running backs. He's waiting on some good portal intel and some recruiting news. We circled Allen Henderson. We heard for a year he was going to be ours, Charlie5. I don't think that any of us really believe he's going to go to Penn State, but just kind of looking at this 25 class, and maybe we're kind of kicking the tires on some people in the portal as well. What you thinking about running back here?
So, let's start with portal. The only way that you get anybody in the portal is if you lose somebody, and there's been some smoke that Damari Alston or Cobb and or whatnot have been looking around, and I'm sure there's no doubt schools like Miami, who's lost seemingly every running back on their roster, there's no doubt schools like that have to be reaching out to guys like these. And if you do lose one, you may look to add somebody, but I'm not 100% sold that we are. I'm not 100% sold that either one of those guys are going to go, because if you just hang in there one more year, you're going to get some touches this year, but you're the guys in 2025 when you feel like you can make a run for this thing. You feel like year 3, you'll have a lot of the pieces in place where you can make a run at this thing. So from the portal, I don't really think, again, you'd have to lose somebody. So I'm not really sure portal running back recruiting is going to really produce anything. And it wouldn't make any sense anyways, because you already got 4. And then you got Sean Jackson as well, who could play at a number of different schools. As far as high school goes, if he doesn't just completely piss Hugh Freeze off, it's hard to believe that Alvin Henderson won't end up in this class. I mean, I know that he's made it known to several people. I'm feeling Penn State right now, but that's why I committed. And I think Penn State was kind of like, if you want to have a spot in this class, you need to go ahead and commit. And Hugh's not really played that game with him because they have a pretty good relationship. So I know he committed elsewhere. I would be sort of shocked unless Hugh just decides I don't want to play the game anymore, which he's been playing the game this whole time. So it would take something pretty big for him to decide I'm going to move on. But if he does, there's 2 guys in particular to watch out for. I'm probably going to butcher his name, but I think it's Shakai Hills Knight from, I think it's from Tennessee. I think he's from the state of Tennessee. Chattanooga, bigger back. I think he's like 6'1", 215. I really like him. And then there's a kid from Mississippi that they got a tip on, an early eval. He's like a absolute blazer, young, a smaller running back. His name is escaping me. It's like Kinkle or Trinkle or something like that is his last name. But y'all look it up when you get a chance. He's out of Mississippi. Those are 2 guys I'm watching right now. And then obviously you can't forget about Alvin Henderson. I said no kid from Colorado or no kid from Carrollton is going to go to Boulder. there for sure is no child from Elba, Alabama, going to play in Pennsylvania. I'm the first time the weather drops, he's out. I'm telling you, it's hot. If y'all ever been to Elba, it's muggy, it's hot, it's in the Wiregrass. There ain't no way. There ain't no way he goes to Penn State.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was really awkward too, but just because of the way he took the slick shot and called them running back you.
Well,
and
I'm going to give him a little bit of a breeze on that. And the reason being is because his coach, his position coach, if you know, is the one who tweeted that out, and then he retweeted it. So he didn't.
Okay.
If you look at it, his running back coach at Penn State was the one that put that out there, called them like yard boys, or I don't know, whatever they call their running backs over there. And that coach was taking a shot at Auburn, and then he retweeted it. So I'm going to give him just a little bit. He's got about one more strike, though. He's got about one more strike with me, and then I'm going to be ready to move on. But no, I just don't see him ending up. It's hard for me to imagine that. Now, could he go elsewhere? Sure, but not there. Like maybe Miami or somewhere like that, but not Penn State.
Yeah. That's my prediction. He ends up he ends up somewhere other than Auburn or Penn State. I can see him going to Miami for it. Like
I would take that
day. And
I would take that. I would take the field versus Penn State. Anywhere else versus Penn State, I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Charlie5, man, we appreciate you, brother. Tell the people where they can find you. If they've been living under a rock and they're not watching the Top Button podcast already, where can they find it?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at _Charlie_5. If you are an internet service provider, I'm shopping right now because mine is garbage. So we're gonna get after it. And we're gonna get this thing fit. We're gonna get this thing fixed. It's been funny for a while, but it's starting to piss me off.
That's great stuff. That's
the move helps. So I think a spot in the house where you can get a little bit better.
Yeah, I got to sit on top of the router apparently. So we'll get it figured out. Well, it'll be better next time, I promise.
There we go.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate your time tonight, man. Y'all go follow Charlie5.
All right,
War Eagle, man.
War Eagle.
Buddy. All right, Blake. That was our guy, Charlie5, man, bringing the heat like he always does. We got some comments started. I want to get to those, man, and then we'll get out of here. Yeah. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Keats asked, can we really handle a Walker Juju QB battle? Listen. Yes, we can. Hey, we can, baby. I want to be up there with the big dogs. When you look at a team like Georgia, when you look at teams like Alabama, and every year they're bringing in a top 100, top 200 overall quarterback. Like that's what they're doing. In the same way that I want to have, if you're getting pushed out of our wide receiver room, I want you to be getting pushed out because it's dogs coming in there. And the same way we saw a guy hit the portal this week in the edge. And my argument is probably because Jamonte Wilder came in there and Joe Phillips came in there and made him move, right? Or at least he saw, some competition coming in the future. So I'm all for it, bro. Listen, yes, put him on the field and let's figure out who the best guy is.
What I would really like is Walker to take the reins and run with it. Give us 2 good years. You go pro, and then bang, you got Juju. All right, he comes in. He red shirts. He still got his years of eligibility. He gives us 2 or 3 good years, and then we're recruiting quarterbacks. Now we've got everybody wanting to come to Auburn to play quarterback. That's what I really want. All right, give me the Georgia, what Georgia's got going on right now. I mean, they get Stetson Bennett over there. He runs it up and says, hey, here you go. Here's 2 natties. Oh, and by the way, here's Carson Beck right behind me. All right. That's what we really want, and they're recruiting at an elite level in the quarterback room right now. So that's what I really want for the future.
Yeah, for sure. Reeves said, "Let it compete." That's what it's all about. Make the best man win. You don't. We don't want to be in the situation where we got a guy and then he gets hurt, so now the guy behind him ain't ready. No, sir. Dogs in every single room. Yep. Drexel with a good point here. He says Alvin might want to transfer every year to different teams. Listen, there's been a couple of guys. Listen, you got to take this into consideration, right? You got to look at people's personalities and this kind of stuff and ask yourself, is he even going to stay here? So yeah, and I'm not trying to knock, we always try to, he's a kid, man. He's not even 18 years old. He ain't even old enough to vote. Can't buy a beer. But I'll just say, you got to follow some trends. You see these guys that transfer 3 or 4 times in high school, these point guards, and they come to Auburn for 1 year and they transfer again. Sometimes. sometimes
Taking a
it's probably-
shot.
No, what's that? We're taking a shot.
Taking a shot. Bang!
Yeah.
And now he's
But I
about
will-
to go to Alabama.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what though, if I was taking shots, I'd shoot better than 31%. So that's just me. I got a couple more you guys start, man, and then we'll get out of here. Anthony says, gonna be pissed if we don't win at least 9 games. Well, Anthony, you might be pissed, but I'm here to make this argument to you again, right? I don't know what the percentage is, but it's gonna be over 25. Okay, it's gonna be over 25% of your players getting significant reps that are either true sophomores down to true freshmen.
Yep.
As Blake calls them, puppies.
Puppies.
Now we get now in the past, the kind of puppies that Auburn's had are them $20 puppies, right? That you can go down to the shelter and you can get you one of them, the mutts. That's what Auburn's been having for the last 10 years. No, sir, we got them pure bloods now. Them blue nose, okay?
Yeah.
You got to pay. You got to show up. You bought papers. I need papers. That's the kind of dogs we got now. Them $1,000 dogs, okay? So they're puppies right now, but they're going to grow into something that you can barely keep on a leash.
Yeah.
But they're going to be puppies right now. And that schedule is an SEC schedule. So are we going to get to 9 games? I don't know. That would have to be, we would really have to crush the portal to make that happen. But if we don't get to 9 games, Anthony, there could be other things to look for in the season that could tell you this program is headed in the right direction. And 9 games, I mean, it would be the first time we won 9 games since 2019. So,
Yeah.
that would be a big step. But if we do it, Anthony, I can tell you what, I'll be booging.
Get us to 8-4 and go to an Outback Bowl and really throw your chips. Let's push all the chips in on the 25 season. Let's build something in 24 and let's go all in on 25 because I think that could be the year that you really take the next step. I'm not saying it's out of the possibility that Auburn could get hot and win 9 games because, hell, they almost did it this past season.
Right.
I mean, you were hot. You get to 6 wins and you start looking and you're like, hey, man, we said that here was the route we get to 8. And then you give up a 4th and goal from the 31 and you lose to Maryland and then all of this stuff. Like there was a strong possibility that Auburn was going to walk out of that last season with 9 wins and then you lose out. So it could happen this year.
Yeah, we let some slip through
Your
our
dad.
fingers. Yeah. Pops in the I got this one started. I don't know what he just said, but Cam Coleman going to make Thorne look better than he really is. And look, of Cam Coleman's 4 catches at A-Day, I would say that 3 of them were probably bad throws, or at least not great throws. And he called them. I mean, like the diving catch. I saw people say, like, oh, look at Hank lead him. Like, no, any other year, that's an incomplete pass for Auburn, whether Hank Brown's throwing it or not. You got something you've never had out there that made it look like that was a catchable ball because he made it a catchable ball. So, yeah, spot on here, man. This wide receiver class, you got to feel like it's going to raise. We got to pass for more than 1,700 yards this time.
I don't know if a lot of people realize how sick that catch was. Like bro he reversed. Laid out. Like that's 18 years old, freshman. It's crazy. Like so when Hugh called him Little Megatron, I'm starting to see it and going, hey, Hugh wasn't playing around. Like Hugh was telling the truth. This guy, it's insane, man. Marcus Davis, they released a little clip on War Eagle Plus, and Marcus Davis just hey, this dude, go do whatever you want, bro. Just go out there and just make whatever play. Just go. Just give him the ball. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And a lot of people see you, Pops, Drake. So a lot of people are just say, hey, man, let's just get a bowl game. Let's just get a bowl game. Our guy,
win a bowl game.
Yeah, Reeves says, beat Bama and Georgia, win a bowl. Don't even care about the record. Well, if you win the bowl game, right, that at least means you're at 7 because you got to get to 6 to get there. You win that, you're going to be at least 7. So I'll take 7. I'll take 7 in beating our 2 arch rivals. Let me tell y'all something. The day that Auburn beats Georgia, I don't know. Like I'm You know what I mean? I
It's a
might
great
die.
day.
Like my heart might explode because
It's gonna be a
I
great
don't
day.
deem it possible. I look at it as something that I'm never gonna attain. So if that does happen at some point in my life again, boy, that will be a monumentous occasion. So
That's
we're
a
about to
fact.
get out of here, man. Good crowd tonight. Shout out
Yeah.
to our guy Charlie5 for bringing the heat. And we really appreciate it, man. Go over and check him out at the Top Button Podcast. He's always booging. He's always bringing that fire content. We're trying to do the same here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we each and every one of you. I love you. What you got, brother?
Dustin and I believe Dustin did a members pod. We'll drop that tonight as soon as I get off of here. We'll upload that. It's going to be available to both JV and varsity squad. And so give me 30 minutes or so, and it should be up. Hopefully it uploads pretty quick. And War Damn Eagle. I had a blast tonight. Thank you for staying with us while Charlie5, the internet and everything, and we got it worked out. There was 100 people in here tonight, folks. That's big, and each and every one of you keep showing back up. You keep hanging with us. We appreciate you, like Dustin said. Thank y'all, and War Damn.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Good stuff, Blake. And on that member pod, we're looking at our new point guard edition there, and JP from Furman. Absolute hooper. I had a blast looking at his highlights, man. Blake, I don't say this lightly. The kid got a little Mamba in him, bro. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clutch buckets inside a minute that either tied the game or put his team ahead. Really excited. And Martin has a fantastic question before we get out of here, Blake. He wants to know, how can he watch this? How can he become a member?
Look, go to the desktop version of YouTube, and the join button should be next to the subscribe button. I don't think you can do it on your phone. I've had a couple people DM me and ask, how do you do it on your phone? I don't think you can do it from your phone just yet. I think that's a YouTube thing where you have to have a certain amount of subscribers and everything to get it available on your phone. But $3.99 a month, JV Squad. You can see the list there of everything we offer. And hey, everybody's going to tell you, get that $5.99 a month Varsity Squad. Get them recruiting updated videos, the game day group chat, gameplay with you. Look, we're so close from NCAA football. Well, they dropped the NCAA. It's called College Football 25 now. It drops in July because the NCAA is trash. We've got all kind of watch the films going on. Man, get over there, check it out, become a member. We appreciate every one of you, especially that game day group chat. You guys make the day awesome. I just can't thank you enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how you do it, Martin. Get on that desktop, sign up. We'd love to have you, brother.
Yeah.
War Damn Eagle. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night. Unless something pops off, then stay, pay attention to your feeds, and we might pop up in them. War Damn, baby. Yep. We're out. Until next time.
War Damn. Aiden, see you on the other side, brother.